Hello everyone and welcome to the People's Friends Facebook Live for this week. I'm joined today by Jacqueline, our design editor, and Nicole, who's also from our design team. And we're going to be talking about pets. I guess we're big fans in the office. We had a pet in recently picking cover mounts for another magazine during the week, didn't we?
One of our children's titles is called Animals and You, and the guest editor was a Cocker Spaniel.
Was it Ollie?
Called Ollie. And he was a delight.
Yeah, he had a little bow tie. And his little...
He did. He had his tie on and he went into an office meeting and he sat at the computer and basically ran riot for the rest of the time. But he did a very good job guest editing.
Cheered everyone up as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I think there was a marked improvement in office morale
Definitely.
when Ollie was in.
But some people get to bring their pets to work these days, which is a really good thing. I'd love to bring my dog into work every day.
Fans would love it.
We'd never get any work done though.
No, I think that is the issue.
Yeah,
is there a suggestion box here? Because we might want to suggest that.
Yeah.
There's also the likes of therapy dogs. There's an awful lot of that in schools for kids that have learning disabilities or people with anxiety. So they really fulfill a range of roles.
Totally. Humans couldn't live without pets
No.
or animals in general, especially dogs in particular.
Yeah.
That's probably a good time to go on to talking about your dog,
Yes.
Jacqueline.
Well, I have one dog, and he's going to be 7 this year, which I cannot believe. Makes me totally upset just thinking about him getting older. But he is a Bichon Frise called Buttons, and he's the absolute light of my life. I don't think I could live without him. We do everything together. He's the best companion anyone could ever wish for. But he's quite mischievous, and he tends to just do what he wants most of the time. But that's what I love about him, because he's got a real cheeky personality to him.
We've actually had a picture of Buttons on the Facebook page because we put the Facebook album on National Pet Day.
Oh, that's right, so we did,
A picture of yourself with Buttons.
I remember, well, it must be 7 years ago now, but I posted on People's Friend Facebook years and years ago when I first got him a little puppy pic to show everybody, and also a couple of years after that, for one of our strawberry tea bake sales, I brought Buttons in, and he was one of the games, so to speak, whereby people had to guess his weight to win a prize. So he has been in the office, and he was actually a very well behaved boy that day. I was a really proud mummy that day, definitely.
Is he basically the friend dog then?
Yeah, he's the mascot for sure. Yeah, the friend mascot.
And
Nicole's got a new arrival.
Yes. I'm getting a puppy next week, little Nala. So I've got a wee photo of her. This was her at 5.5 weeks, so if you can see her.
So what kind of dog is she?
Well, she's a mix. She's a mix between a Lhasa Apso and a Bichon, like Buttons. So it's my friend. Her 2 dogs have had babies, and I'm going to take one of them. So yes, they're 8 weeks this week, and I'm getting her next week. So very excited about that.
Exciting.
Yeah.
So much to buy though. So
I know.
much to organise all the bits and pieces.
That's right.
But the good. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I was just going to say, what inspired you to get the dog? What?
Cuteness.
Yeah. Well, I always loved dogs. I grew up with a lab. I had a family lab, and you know, they're just the best, as Jacqueline says, just the best companion. It's so lovely to come home to welcome, and you know, they're just lovely. So when my friend Emma said that her dog was expecting, I was like, oh, that would be nice. And I love her 2 dogs. They're great natures, and I just kind of thought, oh, maybe that would be nice. So me and Liam went up to see them, and I'd liked specifically, in photos that Emma had sent me, I'd specifically liked a certain one. So when I found out she was still available, it kind of was like, oh.
Fell into place a wee bit.
Yeah, so we went up and seen her, and then we thought, no, I think we'll take her. So it just went from there.
Even though you think your husband's would be allergic to her.
Yes, possibly, but
Slight snag.
Slight snag, but I think he'll be fine. He's been fine with Nala's mum and dad and stuff, so fingers crossed it'll be fine.
But most dogs these days are bred to be the sort of low allergy, aren't they? So for people who are, well, apart from you,
Apart from
Yeah.
me, I hate to be the one that throws the spanner in the works there.
just take antihistamines
Yeah.
forever, it'll be fine.
just drug yourself up to the gills, the dogs will love it.
It's worth it, definitely.
I think the good thing about dogs in particular, I think, is just how much they get you out. So they're so good for like your mental well-being, but they force you to get out. You know, I know that I would not go out walking 3 times a day if I didn't have a dog, you know. And also I spend so much time in my garden, which I don't think I would do. Like before I had the dog, I'd only be in the garden in fair weather, but now I'm in my garden all year round with my hat, gloves, because he's playing or I'm throwing a ball or I'm doing something. So, you know, it's always better to be out in the fresh air than in the central heating. So there's so many benefits to having a dog, I feel, not just the companionship, but for that sort of health benefit of getting out walking. Because at the end of the day, your dog needs walk, doesn't matter what the weather's like. You have to get wrapped up and out you go.
Yeah.
So that has to be a good thing as well, because we would all naturally probably be a bit lazy, and if it was pouring with rain, not think, I'm going to go out for a nice long walk now in this.
We've had a comment here from Charlotte, who is a big fan of Nala. She's
Oh.
very cute.
Thank you.
Of course, it's not just dogs. In my street, there seems to be all of Dundee's cats. I think it might just be because of the general demographic of where I live, but there's probably about 8 or 9 cats in my street, and it's not really that long. So when you're wandering out to kind of go up and get the bus into the town or whatever, there's usually at least 4 or 5 of them kind of kicking around, and they're all quite sort of nice cats. They all come over and they all like a wee claps.
I think they all fight after dark though, because they probably pretend to all be friends during the day, but are they quite territorial that they don't like all the other cats living on their patch?
I think they probably must be, and we get foxes as well. So
we get foxes at mine as well.
occasionally the silence at night is punctuated by weird squealing
Yeah.
noises that are a bit disturbing, to be honest. So I mean, my brother's got a cat. I've got friends that have got cats. They're big fans. I've always thought cats kind of look a bit shady compared to dogs, like they know better than you.
Yeah, definitely. Plus, a cat will just leave you and go and live with someone else without telling you. A dog wouldn't do that.
No.
A dog at least have the decency to tell you first.
Yeah.
Well, we're more a cat office, aren't we, than dogs? There's
Yeah,
more people
that's
in our
true.
office that have cats than
Yeah,
they do
not big
dogs.
fans.
I think when you're working full time though, it's hard because, you know, I have dog walkers that I pay to walk my dog because I'm at work. So I think because cats are more independent
That's
and they
right.
can take care of themselves, if you're a household where you're not in that much, obviously they're an easier pet to kind of take care of.
Not quite as easy as goldfish that we were discussing before we
Yes,
came on camera here.
I think everyone's had a goldfish at some point in their lives,
it's sort
haven't
of
they?
the first step on the pet ladder,
Yeah,
isn't it? When you're young and say
definitely.
to your mum and dad you want a pet, you just get one of them.
Yeah.
But it's not a proper pet because there's like zero interaction.
No.
Interior decorating that you
Yeah.
feed. Yes. We had I had one in a tank, or I had 2 in a tank when I was a kid, being allergic to other pets. But we also had where my parents live, a pond that was fairly sizable, and my brother won a goldfish in the carnival once when he was about sort of 8 or 9, and these things generally have a lifespan of about a year if you're lucky. It was about 10 years old when it died, this
That's
thing,
good age.
and it went from being one that you get in the wee plastic bags. It was about this size when it died.
Thriving in the pond outside.
Yeah, 'cause
But
they
it
grow
just
to the
shows
size
you
of
a
the
bit-
container.
Yeah, they would all be that size if we didn't have them in tiny bowls.
Previously, obviously being allergic to bigger things with fur, I had guinea pigs. They're quite good for kids as well as a pet because they're relatively low maintenance and they're quite kind of calm animals generally.
I remember at school, and I don't know if they do it now because obviously it's quite a long time ago since I was at school, but we had guinea pigs at school and they sort of like rented them out to you for the weekend. So
You got to take them home and look after them.
So I remember having, it was either a hamster or a gerbil, I do apologise but I don't really know the difference, but it was one of those, and we had them home for the weekend when I was at school. That's my only interaction with those, but I did have a budgie. He was my first sort of pet that you had to take care of, you know, like clean out his cage, and my favourite bit of having my budgie, which probably again wasn't what you're supposed to do, but you got these little baths that sort of hooked onto their door, so you'd open the door and hook the bath on and the bird would go in. But my bird couldn't get his wings sort of stretched out in this little thing, so I used to fill up a casserole dish and just let him out of his cage, and he used to just bath in the casserole dish and he'd get his wings sort of splayed right out. My Cyril, he was called Cyril, he was adorable. He was a green budgie. But we had Cyril for about 12 years. He lasted forever, because I think they were only meant to live about 8 or 9
Yeah,
or
they've probably
something
not
like
got
that.
a...
But it's probably because my gran and granddad sort of inherited Cyril at one point, and they took such good care of him that he just lasted forever.
Was he a whistler? They tend to make a lot of...
Well, my Cyril wasn't very good at repeating words. I think that's maybe more a parrot thing, although I think budgies can be quite good at it. But Cyril would copy the telephone, so it would be more tunes, but as I say, not words. So he would sit and whistle sort of the phone, and you would think the phone was ringing. But he wasn't much for doing any other sort of miming.
So we'd love to hear from you guys about your pets. What do you have a cat or a dog? Do you have something slightly more
Send us
unorthodox?
photos.
Send us. That's what we'll do this afternoon. If you send us photos, we go through them all and rate your pets. Sorry about
We
that.
won't do that. They'd all get 10.
I have a friend who has a snake.
Women like that.
Which disturbs me on a number of levels because they're just a bit scary. I think I probably watched The Jungle Book when I was too young, and I'm terrified of snakes. But you have to feed a snake mice.
Oh, I couldn't do
So
that.
she has a freezer full of frozen mice that she has to kind of bring in and feed to the
I've
snake.
no problem with reptiles whatsoever, but I wouldn't want one as a pet. I wouldn't cope well with, because there's the other sort of lizards and stuff, and they're fed sort of live insects
like flies
and stuff.
yeah. Like geckos and chameleons and
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
I'm just happy with dry kibble for my dog. That's about my limit.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair.
Because lots of people feed their dogs on the raw food diet as well, which is basically raw food. I'm not so keen on that either. So I'm very much
It's bad enough giving the dog the pig's ears.
that's right. Or a horse's hoof out of the supermarket. They're quite disgusting, but my dog absolutely loves them.
These are all reasons why I don't want a dog. I don't,
Oh, don't let that
I
put you
hack
off.
any of that stuff.
But Claire, would she like a pet?
Yes, very much.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm the one putting the brakes on that.
Oh.
She grew up with 3 French bulldogs.
Oh,
Her parents had 3, and they now have 2 new ones. And her sister has just got a dog, a Puggerdale.
So
So it's an Airedale Pug cross.
Oh, lovely.
Not sure I can picture what an Airedale is. I'm a bit rubbish with
It's quite a hairy dog,
breeds.
isn't it?
It's sort of a wee, a bit like it's got a wee beard. I've got a picture of it somewhere, but a lovely dog, and I should point out, I like dogs. I'm not a psychopath. I'm just allergic to them. So we've had this long running. There's been 14 years worth of me saying, "Can we just not get something that will make it difficult for me to breathe?"
Yeah.
Eventually,
fair
I'll
request.
lose. I'm gonna lose this. I'm sure.
You might not be so bad though with the sort of hypoallergenic coats.
Yeah, what they call schnauzers apparently
Oh, yeah.
are
They particularly good.
yeah, and poodles I think are
Yeah.
the same.
So are Bichons. Like my dog's non-shedding, so they're one of the breeds that are meant to be okay for allergy stuff. I suspect it depends where you are on the scale as well. 'Cause
Yeah.
some people, if it's a mild allergy, if you do get a dog that's non-shedding and everything's kept quite clean and your house is kept clean, you'll probably be okay. But if you're up there on the scale,
Just looking at it and you're like, suddenly you can't see and you're really itchy and all sorts of stuff. We've had a comment here from Kathy saying looking forward to seeing you all next weekend. So Kathy is obviously going to
our
Warner's.
Warner's holiday. How exciting!
That's
Next weekend, isn't
yeah, it
it?
certainly is. It looks like it's going to be a good one. Some of the folks in the office were preparing for it today.
Yes.
With varying degrees of success. It's been really popular. There's quite a lot. I forget the number. Angela did tell us
I
yesterday.
think there's a couple of hundred.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a takeover
readers
basically
going
of
now,
the
yeah,
hotel.
to celebrate our 150 year anniversary. So, to everyone who's going, have a brilliant time. Sure you will.
And we're looking
Forward
forward to seeing the photos from that event as well. it should. They did it before. They did Alveston, didn't they?
Yes,
They've done two before,
Mid-Hall
That was Mid-Hall was the other.
and Alveston are the two locations that our holidays have been at so far.
And they've gone great.
Successful.
Yeah, with all the feedback
Fantastic
we've
feedback.
had. I don't know if anyone's taking their pets there. I think that would be down to Warner's whether you're allowed to do that. So,
A lot of hotels allow pets, not so lot
No,
of
we
hotels
actually,
nowadays
actually talked about that recently. We were saying, I wonder if they have rooms for people who do want to bring their pets, but I don't think we sort of looked into it any further. But lots of hotels do nowadays
Definitely,
because
yeah.
people do want to holiday in the UK with their pets.
yeah,
Don't they?
I think it used to be kind of a blanket ban, basically, didn't it?
Yeah.
And then now kind of the attitudes
It's
are changing.
gradually, yeah. I think someone was telling me that there's a lovely place in the Lake District, and I can't remember exactly where it is. There's a lovely town in the Lake District where dogs are allowed everywhere. They're allowed in every restaurant, every pub, all the hotels, and sort of over the summer months, it's just, you know, it's a fantastic place to take your dog on holiday. So
You take buttons.
yeah, well, I was thinking that's why they were telling me about it, because I'd been saying I'm looking for places to go, and they'd said, oh, it's just fantastic, you know, you're welcomed everywhere. So you're not thinking, oh, I'm going to have to leave the dog in the hotel,
Yeah,
because
there's
I'll need to go and have a meal myself down there. You know, it's apparently welcoming everywhere you go. I thought, that's the sort of place I want to live in when I retire.
I do like a pub dog. I do like
Yeah.
going into the pubs where everybody's brought their dog with them, because obviously after a couple of pints, whether you're allergic or not, you're like, oh, that dog's really cute.
Both of us went to the pub one time,
Yeah,
didn't we?
yeah. Me and my dad went up to his local pub a couple of times actually, and we thought, will we chance it? Because Buttons is a little bit of a rascal when it comes to food, and basically anyone eating food, he just sits and stares and sometimes whines until he gets some of it. So it was a gamble as to whether he'd be a pest in the pub, but he was such a good boy. He just sat quite happily, but I ended up having macaroni and cheese and chips, and I did give him a couple of chips just to keep him quiet, just to keep him sweet. But I think the more you take your dog, because obviously to start with it's such an exciting experience, then all the smells and goodness knows what else, that they are a bit overexcited. But I started taking Buttons more and more. There's a wee restaurant along the road from me on the waterfront, and I'll often stop there and have sort of a sandwich when we're actually on a walk, and now he's much calmer, he's quite happy to just sit and get his own wee bowl of water, and it's just nice to be able to integrate that into your walking day, because if you're away for the day you're thinking, well, you need to eat and you need to stop and have a coffee and a cake obviously, and it's nice to be able to still have them with you.
We've had a comment here from our own Maddie Grigg.
Oh!
I still haven't got Artie a friend, she says.
Oh!
I don't know if that means it's on the cards and we can expect it in a future issue.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Oh yes, Artie definitely needs a friend, a puppy.
I find that kind of when you tell people you don't have a pet, everyone has the same reaction. They're all like, you're gonna get one. It seems to be unusual when you don't have
But they
one.
do enhance your life so much. You know, I do think that they're an amazing addition to anyone, whether you're a single person or whether you're a family unit. I just think pets really add something to the family life, you know. But obviously there's some people who don't like animals, and doesn't it bring any enhancements to their life.
Again, not me.
No, you will get a dog.
God, it's inevitable. We lived abroad for a while, and we were thinking about coming home, and we were planning basically. It was going to happen in a few months. We were booking flights and things, and Claire came home one day and said, one of our friends has got this dog. She's looking after this dog, but she can't keep it. Can we have it? And I was like, we're leaving the country in 2 months. No, we can't have a dog. That's insane. And she's like, well, what will they do with it? I don't know. I mean, we can't take it. It's a small dog. It could fit in a bag. But international travel with animals is incredibly difficult. And it took me a very long time to persuade her that this was a bad idea.
Could have got a passport, Ian.
Yeah, nowadays you get them passports.
Yeah, there's
don't
all
you?
sorts
You
of
can
things.
Take them abroad. I've never done it because I'm a bit sort of wary, but I'd love to be able to just go away to Spain for a week and take my dog with me. I would be utterly terrified at him being put in the hold on some aeroplane and just the noise, and I just think he'd be absolutely terrified, and that really, really puts me off. I think if you were emigrating or something, obviously you would just make that journey, but just for sort of a week's holiday, and then you'd have the trauma of that coming back. That I couldn't relax. I'd just be sitting on the plane thinking, oh my goodness, is he all right down there? Like, what's happening down there?
Just go to places by boat.
Yeah, or just drive, because that's the other thing. You know, you can just drive through the UK, get into Europe, and sort of do it that way. But again, it's so time consuming, isn't it? It is the sort of convenience of jumping on a plane.
Yeah.
But if I could reserve him a seat and just have him sitting next to me, I'd be more likely to do it. It's this sticking them in the hold or wherever it is they put them down in the engine room or something, I'm just not up for at all.
Here's something that was semi-controversial in the magazine not that long ago: dressing pets up.
Oh yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I think if it's cold, Buttons has a coat, and I get him clipped quite regularly at the groomers because he's a non-shedding dog, so obviously his fur grows all the time. And of course in summer they need to be comfortable, so you don't want this massive fur coat. So he has a winter coat purely to keep them semi-clean as well. If it's absolutely filthy outside, it just kind of keeps their belly and stuff a little bit cleaner. And if it is exceptionally cold, they're used to central heating, so I like to keep them warm that way. But my dog does not like any other form of sort of stick a Christmas jumper.
No bow ties or hats or anything like that.
And I don't really like it either, to be honest. Not on my little dog anyway. No.
Have you been planning outfits for Mally yet, or are you not a fan
No,
either?
I don't think so, no. I think...
The fur is probably enough.
Yeah, I think
no tiaras. No tiaras for Nala. Well, not yet.
Not yet.
We've been
She'll have plenty of fur, so she'll be fine.
She'll be fine. She's not in the nude or anything.
No.
We've been joined by Roma in Australia.
Hi.
Plenty of exotic animals there, but I don't think you're allowed to keep any of them as pets. Half of them probably want to kill you. Not specifically you, Roma, but mostly people in Australia. I don't know about
Koalas in Australia.
Koalas. Yeah, I think
they're
they're not pets. I
No,
don't think they're
no,
allowed.
no.
It's a bit like foxes here. I don't know if you've seen. There's an Instagram famous fox called Juniper, and it's a pet fox that someone has. They've rescued it because they run a rescue centre, and you watch all the videos and they're all very cute and stuff. But like all the guidance you get from people in the know is don't try this because they are wild animals and they will do you some damage. And I guess koalas must be the same sort of
pet.
because they're fairly common and you can find them reasonably easily, but you're basically just not meant to keep them in your house.
No, you wouldn't, would you?
But you get these crazy people who have like a crocodile as a pet and stuff.
Oh.
You see those extreme programs on TV and you just think, what's that all about? Someone's got a rhino living in their bedroom with them and stuff like that. But the majority of us think we're quite sensible with our animal choices.
So far, I'm trying to persuade Jackie to get a llama or an alpaca. Just every time she talks about her cats, I'm like, don't you want to get like a llama, and then you can shave it and make a jumper or something like that. It's a practical pet.
Llamas are another one though nowadays that are used a lot as therapy animals.
Yeah, because they're quite kind of docile
they're very
animals.
calm and sort of people sort of go walking with them or something. I think that's essentially it.
You can when we were planning
our
when we were planning our wedding recently, you can hire them to come to your wedding. They'll bring like 2 or 3 of them around, and then all the guests can go and pet them.
See, I'd quite like that, because the boring bits at weddings where God knows what's happening, but the bride and groom are away and everyone's just standing waiting for whatever's away to happen next. And there's normally like a magician or other random thing. I'd much rather they just brought an animal.
Here's a llama. Amuse yourselves, we'll be back in half an hour.
Puppies would be good. That would keep everyone amused for hours, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That'd be the highlight of the entire day, for me anyway.
Well, at our birthday party in January, we had the Pat dog came in.
That's right.
And the whole
Stole the
party
show.
stopped as everyone kind of descended on this cute wee dog.
I know. The Pat dogs, I'd looked into Buttons possibly being a pets as therapy dog, but as I mentioned, he can be a little bit mischievous, and sort of does his own thing most of the time. But yeah, there's quite strict criteria, and one of the things that the dogs mustn't do is jump up. And he's a bit naughty for jumping. He just gets a little bit excited, and because he's quite a small dog, I sort of get away with it. Thankfully, he's not a big dog at all. But yeah, so Buttons would fail the test, unfortunately, for the pets as
A little bit too excitable.
I think maybe when he gets a bit older, I would reconsider. Although he is about to be 7, but I think as they get older, you know, he's probably less likely to jump around and happier to just be passed around, people getting patted.
It was good when he was in for the strawberry tea though.
Yeah, but that's because he got carried around like a baby.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
I carry him around like a prince most of the time. So yeah, he was a good boy that day, just because he was being carried around. So he didn't eat all the cakes. He couldn't go down and walk around himself. He was just eating all the cakes.
But he's too big to have a pram or a bag or any of that.
Well,
kind of...
funnily enough, my mum and my auntie were on holiday last year or the year before in Spain, and they'd actually slyly taken a photo of a Bichon in a pram. And but they said it was quite a common occurrence where they were in Spain, but I think it's too hot for the dogs. And for whatever reason, this seemed quite common that dogs were in strollers just being pushed around, you know, with the sort of shades and that over their heads.
That's the life.
Which is bizarre for us in this country, but they said they couldn't believe it. It just seemed to be quite normal over there. I thought, God, my dog would love that.
Yeah.
Just being put in a buggy and pushed around all the time.
I think it kind of counteracts the benefits of taking the dog for a walk if the dog doesn't actually do any walk.
You're still getting the walk, mind you.
Yeah, exactly.
The dog's doing nothing. Yeah.
Anyway, that will do us for this week. So as I said, please do share pictures of your pets below here, and we will come back and like and comment and fawn over them all afternoon. And we will be back on Facebook Live next Friday. So thank you for joining us, and see you then.
Bye.
Bye-bye.